What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel for Vlogmas Day 15. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite books. Why? Because I'm at Chapters right now, like my favorite place. I should say Indigo. They're both owned by the same company. And I'm getting a new book and I was like, what else would I share today than sharing with you guys all of my favorite books and why I love them. I'm continuously looking for new books that inspire me, educate me, or just empower me to change my life. So who knows, maybe you are too, and this vlog could help somebody out there. So let me show you guys a couple of my favorite books. This one's called The Go-Giver. It's by Burg and Jon Mann. I most recently finished this one, and I like it because it tells a story about a guy approaching a business deal at work, but at the same time it introduces you to a new way of thinking about business and life by telling that story. So I really liked that one. I like short reads like this because they're easy to read and just a little story keeps you more interested than it would if you were just reading a normal self-help book. I'm not a huge fiction fan, so don't worry about that. This one is like really good. I'm not sure if it's a true story, but I like how it just told a little story and introduced me into a new way of thinking and approaching things that come my way or cross my path within business or just life. This book is Sarah's Key. It's about a girl telling her story about her experience in the Holocaust and what happened to her little brother. This book is so good. I've never cried during a book, but I was sobbing during this. Highly recommend this book if you guys like things about the Holocaust or history. This is Tuesdays with Morrie. It's a story about a student that goes to see one of his old teachers and finds out that he actually has cancer and he's going to die. And so it's about how spending his last days with his teacher introduced him to a new way of thinking and living his life, and he realized that he was living his life completely wrong before and wanting all the wrong things, and how spending his last days with Morrie made him realize so much. So it was a really touching book. Really like that one. Alright, so this book is called Body of Truth, and I did read it early last year, so I don't exactly remember exactly what it was about, but what I do remember is that it changed my way of thinking about adding a little bit of weight, or what it means to have a little bit more weight on you, and what fat is and what isn't fat but what I think fat is, and how being so obsessed with the scale is just wrong, and our desire to be always skinnier and thinner and things like that. Like, it just changed my way of thinking because of some of the things that she talks about in this book. And she does talk about some things where I was like, okay lady, like a little bit crazy. But this was overall a really good book, and if you have any body dysmorphia or desire of always wanting to be leaner and body shaming and stuff, you should definitely read this book. It's a good one. Is that creepy? Just I don't know. Can I read this book? I'm looking for 2 more of my favorite books, and it looks like they're actually sold out at this location, but don't worry, I'm still gonna show you guys them because I have them at home. This is Finding Me by Michelle Knight, and as the title says, it's about the Cleveland kidnappings, and by no means is it obviously not a positive thing to read about or an uplifting and inspiring book to read about, but this book is crazy. Like, just the things that she went through and the things that she experienced and how she got away. This book was very touching, very moving, and I was just reading and thinking, holy shit. So if you guys are into something like that, read that. I feel bad recommending it because it's such a terrible thing, but this book had me mind blown the entire time. Hello. It is absolutely freezing in my house. That is why I look like a crazy person. Okay, getting comfy because it is story time. Kind of, not really. I'm telling you guys about the rest of the books that are on my favorites list. Let me just human for a second. Okay, all right, good, okay, good. All right, so the next one on my list is Relentless. I have read this book like 5 times, I swear. It's just a book that speaks to me. People would be like, why would you waste time reading the same book 5 times? Like I said, it speaks to me. It does something for me. Every single time that I read it, it gives me the exact same feeling. It motivates me, inspires me, makes me want to run faster, try harder, lift heavier. I read this book plenty of times when I've been on prep, and I just remember walking on the treadmill because I've been doing so much cardio, and every single time that I would put this book down to sprint, I would just run my limbs off. Like I would just sprint as fast as my feet would take me, because that is the feeling that this book gives me. It's about motivation and finding motivation and being the change like that you need to be in order to reach your goals. And it's an amazing book. It's a very powerful book, and I think if it's in the hands of the right person, you can do a lot with it. Let's just say that. So that one for sure. This book is another book that just speaks to me. This is the book, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but it's the book that I turn to whenever I'm having anxiety, or whenever I feel like I'm doubting myself or what I'm doing or why I'm doing something. We all get in those funks, and this is the book that helps pull me out of it. This book is amazing. Highly, highly recommend. I've gotten a lot of my friends to read this book and they love it. And the last book is a book that I was grateful to come across at the time. It is called Brain Over Binge, and it is about binge eating disorders. This is something that I have experienced and struggled with for 2 years of my life. It's not something that a lot of people know at all. Like, actually, I'm saying it on YouTube and everybody's gonna know now. I don't want to say that it helped me not binge anymore, because that was me that had to decide to not do these unhealthy, harmful things to myself. But this book I highly recommend, because it'll open your mind to a new way of identifying the problem. I recommend it to friends, clients, coaches, or just if you want to have more insight and knowledge about how the mind works when it comes to these types of things. Highly recommend this one. And lastly, the book that I picked up today is called The Point of Vanishing. It's a memoir about a guy that was playing basketball and got hooked in the eye and lost his vision in one eye. He became permanently blind. And it's just his story about how this traumatic experience changed his life, and how he viewed the world and how the world viewed him, and like how he came out of it. He went into solitude for 2 years. So I thought that that book sounded really interesting, and I hope that it's inspiring at the end. So, yeah, that's it, guys. That is it for today. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for day